Hello and welcome to part 3 of our series Let's Make an RPG in Unreal Engine. In today's video we will be doing this piece. We will go from drawing the dungeon itself, so we'll start with doing a sketch of the dungeon and then we will do some rough sketches of this piece overall. So we will start by doing this page, which basically for the first part of the dungeon we have the entrance. We get into the entrance. In the previous videos we did the exterior, which is basically this one. Our character comes in, goes up, goes into, fights the guardian of the dungeon and then goes into the dungeon. After he gets into the dungeon, that's where we get in here. The first idea was to have kind of like bridges and stairs where the player can go up to one specific area, go down to another area, and all areas lead to the same boss layer. So that was the first idea. And then I decided, instead of having stairs, maybe it's better to have islands. It will give a little bit of a platform feel. So the player will get into the main island, which is basically this one, the entrance. Or if I put it here, it's this one. Once he gets in, he reaches this island, and then he can decide. The player has 3 choices. Either go straight to the dungeon, to the boss layer, basically this one, or he can take a detour going up. There are of course some rewards for doing so. If he goes up, he can have a little fight here and then get some treasure, and then get here, little fight, and then gets to the boss layer to get the item he came for. Second option is to go down, gets in a little fight in this area, and then gets here, this area. The player will meet kind of like a second dungeon boss of the dungeon, but it's a trap. Basically the player will open a chest and then boom, a boss fight will happen. Player has to win this fight in order to get into the boss layer. Big reward though. Once the player defeats the boss in this one, the reward from the chest that the player opened will be quite a big reward. A weapon, it can be like a big unlock, something like a legendary weapon, or a weapon that will help the player easily defeat, not easily but moderately easily defeat the boss of the dungeon. So that was the idea for this dungeon, which we will start by doing this part, and then we will continue with with the rest of the design, which is basically this one. Let me just unselect this, come on. Which is, where are you? Okay, this one. No sketch. Okay, which is this is the final. We also going to do some 3D for this piece. The 3D is basically very rough. It was a 3D based on the first sketch, which is using stairs and bridges in order to go to different areas. However, later on I changed my mind and I went with the islands. So that's what we're going to do in this video. I hope you will like it. If so, leave a like. And with that, my friends, the video comes to an end. I hope you liked it. So, to look back a little bit on what we did. This part, the coloring, was really pretty simple actually. It's just a little bit of highlights and tiny bit of shadows here and there. Mainly you can see some areas were darkened a little bit more on the sides where I didn't want the light to be visible, and then I did a gradient map, which is basically where these colors come from. And just one layer with an overlay layer that created this light. The light allows to lead the eye from here to here, or for the focus to be on this area. These other areas are not really important because we want for the person who looks at this piece to see, okay, this place seems important, and that was the goal. But after looking at this, the person, of course, they will look at other areas like this one, and then they will look at this one. They will wonder, what is this thing? Well, how does it work? We also added these waterfalls at the end. They are not really waterfalls, by the way. They are sand. It's sand that's going down. So above the mountain, it's a sandy area. A lot of sand, dunes, and above the mountain there are dunes. When there is wind, sand goes in, and there is a path where sand can come inside this area. When the player gets in, they will feel like there is a little bit of fog, but it's not really fog, it's dust from the sand. I hope I will be able to represent it properly in the 3D. We will see. Later on, when I will be working on the shaders and the Niagara effect in Unreal Engine, I will make the sand effects and all the fog and whatnot. I'm sure you guys will like it. And in the next video, we will be exploring the other area, which is the middle area, where there is the boss, not the boss, but where people, it's like a sacrifice. The boss requires the villagers of the areas to give him a sacrifice. I think from the lore that I wrote, it's like twice a year. Every 6 months there has to be a sacrifice. It can be a goat, a pig, or something like that. But the boss requires a sacrifice. If there is no sacrifice, the boss will attack the village and take people instead of just animals, or just go take animals. Basically, the boss will take anything that is a living creature that they see when they go out of the lair or of the dungeon itself. And that was it for this video. Until next time, cheers.